G'day, my name's Bruce Simpson and this is the town in which I live. It's Tokoroa, central upper North Island. And if you live in Tokoroa, or if you live in the South Waikato, I'd like you to take just a few moments out of your busy day to watch this video because it is very, very important.
Take a look at this. What you're seeing here is people from around the world, around the country and around the world, who are passionately supporting our airfield tower. They feel a connection to this tower, so they've decided to do something about it because our council's threatening to demolish the tower for no good reason. So these people have gone out and they've been building models of our airfield tower, the Tokoroa Airfield Tower. They've built these models and then they've gone out to their own local landmarks and taken photos. Where they couldn't build a model, people have printed out a picture of the tower and they've gone and stood in front of their local landmarks around the world to voice support for our tower. And this shows the remarkable level of connection that these people do have to the town of Tokoroa through this structure. Now, the council, they want to knock it down. It doesn't cost ratepayers a red cent to have this tower sitting at our airfield, but the council want it gone. Now, the council have said, well, they did it. They got a report commissioned by a company in Tauranga. Remember that Choose Local campaign that they presented to us? Well, they don't choose local. They shop outside the district. So all the money they spend on consultants and architects and engineers outside of the South Waikato, well, that's your money that's lost to the South Waikato district economy forever. So they went to Tauranga, organised a group of engineers to come and look at some buildings in Tokoroa. And one of those buildings was our airfield tower. And the recommendation was that it be demolished. Unbelievable, because it's not hurting anybody, but it is becoming a major draw card for people around the world. Hundreds of people come every year, except when COVID was a thing. Hundreds of people came every year to visit our airfield and get a selfie in front of this tower. It is that popular. And now, as we can see, people are so outraged by the council's proposal to demolish this tower, they're doing something about it. They're building towers, taking photos, standing out there, putting stuff up on their Instagram, their Facebook, their YouTube channels, just to say, we support the tower. They want this town to know how important that tower is to them. Some of these people have already been here and visited the tower. Others have put it on their bucket lists, and others have every intention of visiting as soon as they can. Now, our council has told us that they're doing everything they can to attract visitors to the town. They've just spent $500,000 of your money rebranding the district of South Waikato and the town of Tokoroa, and one of the stated goals of that rebranding is to attract visitors. So you would think that they would realise the huge value this tower has, because that's what it already does. This tower was originally a set in a movie that was filmed here around about the turn of the century, a movie called Superfire. It had some familiar faces you'd recognise, some actors that you would recognise, and it involved a lot of people in the town. It also gave part of America a little view of Tokoroa, albeit just the airfield, because this movie was screened on American TV to 20 to 30,000 American households. 20 to 30 million American households. What was I thinking? So a lot of people got a glimpse of Tokoroa back then, but that's nothing compared to these days. These days, I publish a couple of YouTube channels, and the videos on those channels combined have been seen over 130 million times. That's a box office success. That is a huge number of people. And because so many people see these videos, and the tower features in most of them, many of those people have said, "Whoa, we would like to go there ourselves and see this in person." Just like Matamata have turned Hobbiton into a multi-million-dollar a year tourist attraction, I think the local council should be actually supporting this tower and encouraging its renovation, not wanting to knock it down, because it is achieving what they can't achieve. They told us that the Leith Place toilets would have wow factor and drag people into the town. So to find out for myself whether this was actually the fact, I went down to Leith Place and I interviewed several people who had just arrived in Tokoroa from outside the district. This interview is representative of what they all said.
So, you've come to Tokoroa. Have you come to see our award-winning toilets especially?
No.
And as you've seen in that interview, that's just not happening. They spend huge amounts of your money promising that they'll be attracting people to the town. It doesn't happen. I don't charge anybody 1 red cent. All my videos are free. I've never charged the council 1 red cent, and I've been actively promoting this town for many, many years, quite successfully, as can be seen by the number of people that have actually come here by watching my videos. I've made special promotional videos. I've hired voice actors from the USA. I've invested my time, my money, my resources in making videos to promote this town to the world very, very successfully. I've offered freely of my time, effort, and abilities to the council to help them with their own marketing campaigns. And the mayor actually told me that my stuff wasn't of a sufficient standard for the council's purposes. I'm not good enough, apparently, and well, I'll acknowledge she has a right to an opinion, but the 500,000 people that subscribe to my videos and want more of them, they seem to have a different opinion to our mayor. And I would have thought that any council that wants to keep rates low would take full advantage of anyone in the local community offering their proven good services for free. Why would you pay for something you can get for free from a member of the community? But this council doesn't. It would rather spend your money in another district. I mean, this promotional campaign for the rebranding of the district, they didn't choose a South Waikato company for that. They chose one in Hawke's Bay. Remember, choose local. Do as we say, not as we do, according to this council. So there you go. I just wanted to alert you to the fact that we need to preserve this airfield tower. Now, the council says it's worthless. They said it has no value. It needs to be knocked down. But I've offered to buy the tower off them for $1 and fully restore it. In fact, many of the people who have made these videos and posted these pictures to the social media, they've pledged money to restore the tower to a safe and pristine condition, a condition we as the people of Tokoroa can be proud of. And I don't see why the council should refuse that. Again, it's not a burden on ratepayers, and when it's restored to its original pristine condition, it will be perfectly safe and continue to act as Tokoroa's one landmark on the global stage. The one thing we do have that is seen tens of millions of times a year and attracts people from across the planet. So you need to have a talk with your council and ask them, what the hell are they doing? Why are they doing this? What possible reason could they have? Why do they not accept my offer to buy it for $1 when they've already said it's worthless, and my offer to fully restore it at no cost to ratepayers? And you need to ask them why. Because if we lose this tower, we lose our identity on the global stage. We have nothing that comes close to this tower in terms of making Tokoroa a landmark, making it a destination for people who come to New Zealand and want to put something on their itinerary. Why would we throw that away? I don't know. You need to ask your local councillors. Anyway, there you go. Thank you for watching my video. There is some more stuff coming on this and other subjects relating to the district. I'm going to try and keep you fairly well informed on events. The problem I have is that when I try to bring you information, sometimes the council is not best pleased. Recently I went to the council because I wanted to video the discussions that we're going to have on this tower, and this is the response that I got.
I want to stop here, please. Understanding orders. Susan, could you just make just a comment, please? Yes, you.
Mr. Simpson, I do notice that you are filming this council meeting and the speakers. I do need to highlight to you that you are required to get the permission of those whom you are filming before broadcasting.
No, you don't. Under the law, one party needs to be party to that, and this is considered a public place in a public meeting. There's no expectation of privacy in a public place.
Mr. Simpson, you have to, and under our standing orders, you have to ask permission if you can film.
Then I shall stop filming because this represents the lack of transparency of this council. I'm willing to be shown.
We are still in a public. We are still in a public forum.
Public. The word is public. That you don't understand the meaning of public.
Simpson, could you please?
Clearly, they don't want you to know what they're thinking, what they're doing. They would rather do this sort of thing out of the public eye. But a council meeting is a public meeting. And when you hold a public meeting, the space in which you hold it becomes a public place. The law is very clear on this. The Acts of Parliament turned the council chambers into a public place during a meeting. And the Privacy Commissioner has ruled that there is no expectation of privacy in a public place. Therefore, members of the public are free to film the proceedings. But the council, they didn't want that. Ask yourself why that might be.
Well, here we are on location with Dolly Parton's bronze statue, and even though she can't talk, I imagine that if she could, she would say, "Don't tear down the Tokoroa Air Tower."